John Fetterman fires back at Sonny Hostin after she tries to shame him for voting to reopen government multiple times. Sonny Hostin is the same one who feigns and pretends that she cares about the downtrodden, that she cares about people suffering, and she's complaining that he's voting to reopen the government so people can get their SNAP benefits. She is so fake and ridiculous. But what do you expect from these limousine liberals, these fake so-called progressives? She don't really care about the average person that's suffering right now, that's hurting because of the government shutdown. She don't care about the federal employees that's sitting at home not getting paid. She don't care about any of that. She want to just stick it to Trump. And John Fetterman calls her out on that and like, no, we're not going to do that. It seems like John Fetterman is like one of the only Democrats that make some actual reasonable sense. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to play the clip in here, what he has to say to her. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. There you'll find a link to my Patreon. That's where I'll talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Gateway Pundit, and they report that Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman delivered a much-needed reality check to co-host Sonny Hostin, who attempted to bully him over his sensible votes to reopen the government amid the Schumer shutdown. Fetterman, showing rare spine for a Democrat, stood firm against the radical left's obsession with prolonging economic pain for political points, reminding everyone why blind loyalty to progressive extremists is a losing strategy. Hostin labeled Fetterman's decision a, quote, historic mistake and a pathetic capitulation to Republicans. She parroted talking points from California Governor Gavin Newsom and even dragged in polls blaming the GOP for the shutdown. But Fetterman wasn't having any of it, surprisingly. The senator, who has increasingly distanced himself from the Bernie Sanders wing of his party, fired back with unapologetic common sense. So let's play this clip here. Here we go.
It was a horrific mistake. Governor Gavin Newsom called it pathetic and a surrender. Poll after poll found more Americans on both sides of the aisle blaming Republicans. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene blamed the GOP. As you mentioned, Democrats had big wins last week, so you had momentum. Why give in now? Why bring a butter knife to a gunfight? Are you willing to gamble that the GOP will negotiate on health care in good faith once the government reopens? Because if that gamble is wrong, 500,000 Pennsylvanians that you represent, their health care costs will skyrocket if you are wrong. And I believe you are wrong.
Well, first of all, MTG is quite literally the last person in America that I'm going to take advice or to get their kinds of my leadership and values from. And now if Democrats are celebrating crazy pants like that, then that's on them. And now I don't need a lecture. I don't need a lecture from whether it's Bernie or the governor in California, because they are representing very deep blue kinds of populations. And a lot of those things were part of the extreme. And now remember, what really needs to win, the big win, is involving my state and other states and those things. And
Facts. Let me stop for a second here, because he's absolutely right. Bernie Sanders and Gavin Newsom are blue. They live in blue states. So they can be as radical as they want to be, and it's not going to hurt anything. John Fetterman lives in Pennsylvania, which is a purple state, and it's a swing state, and most people are middle of the road Americans. They're not on these extreme ends. So this stuff is not going to fly in places like Pennsylvania and normal America. Average Americans don't live like people in crazy California and Maine does. See, he is absolutely, I said Maine, Vermont. He is absolutely correct on that.
And why have we arrived here after the election a year ago? We want to forget we got to forget some of the things that cost us that election. Or now, for me, it's like, that's why I'm trying to remind people that kinds of the extremism, we can't return to those kind of things and realize we need to find a way forward. And I would like to, rather than cite MTG, I'm going to cite one of the new governor-elects saying that my election is not a green light to continue the shutdown, because I promise you, this isn't a political game. It is viewed by many of us, but the reality is 42 million Americans now not sure where their next meal is going to come from, and because we vote like that, or people that haven't been paid for 5 weeks now, and that kinds of chaos. Those workers have to borrow more than $500 million, from their credit union just to pay their bills now. So for me, we're in the middle of this.
Senator, I got to ask you to hold up a
Wow, he is absolutely right. Absolutely right on that. Call him out on that bull crap. If y'all really care about the people y'all say y'all care about, you will want the government open and not hold the government hostage to pass some Obamacare that end up costing Americans anyway. Remember when they told us cost of healthcare was gonna go down with Obamacare? Has that happened? Absolutely not. It has not happened. They lied to us. They lied to American people. I'm glad that the Republicans are pushing this clean CR without the Obamacare healthcare attachment to it, because it is a disaster. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.